This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be going out to space in the Milky Way. We're going to be checking out all the different planets. You know, we're going to be checking out Saturn and the rings and how gorgeous it is. And we're going to be flying around to go see the red planet Mars. Today we're talking about Oddworld. It's a game for 2 to 5 players. Takes about 15 minutes to play max, maybe 10. With 2 players, probably even 5. And so let's take a look. I'll show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. In this game, you're trying to get odd numbers of planets. Now this is split and shuffled into 2 piles. On your turn, you're going to take one of these 2 cards without flipping it over, and you're either going to give it to any one of your opponents, or you're going to take it in front of you. So let's say at the beginning of the game, I take this, I see it's Mercury or Venus, I take it in front of me, I flip it over and show everybody that Venus, it's always going to be one of these 2 planets, and so I say, ooh, I have Venus. The next player, it's their turn. Maybe they take this one and put it in front of them, Mars or Jupiter, and let's just say that they have Mars in front of them. Now I come to me, Neptune. Well, I'll pull this one. Well, I have Pluto. Now I have Venus and Pluto in front of me. And so on and so forth. So when would you want to give a card to somebody else? Well, let's say I have these 2 planets in front of me, and an opponent sees this and sees Pluto and Saturn, sees I already have a Pluto. He takes his card and he says, I'm going to give it to you. He gives it to me. I flip it over, and it's a Saturn. Oh, that actually backfired on the opponent because he gave me a Saturn. Anytime you have an odd number of planets, it's worth a point. Anytime you have an even number of planets, it's not. So maybe the next player goes and sees Venus, Mars, and wants to give it to me again, hands it to me, I flip it over, oh, it is Venus. That helped that player because now I have 2, an even number of planets for Venus, which means this is worth nothing. It doesn't matter how many I have. So it's interesting because I could have like 5 Venuses and have 5 points. Someone gives me a Venus, it's 6, but because it's even, it's nothing. So it's that press your luck and trying to screw over your opponents, but at the same time trying to get a lot for yourself. Now this will continue until these decks are either completely gone or one player has all 9 planets. Now if one of these runs out early, you basically can split this deck and keep splitting until all the cards are gone. And again, once all these are gone or 9 planets, and any one player's 9 planets, it ends and you score. So let's say the game just ended here. Somebody else got the 9th planet, the game ends and we score. This is worth no points because it's even, so this would just go out. Even though I have 4, I was working really well on Mars, and this goes out because it's an even number. So this I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's an odd number. I get 5 points, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is even 2. This would go out. So I have 9 points. Whoever has the most points is the winner. And if there's a tie, whoever has the most diverse amount of planets wins. Now there's an advanced variant that I highly recommend. At the beginning of the game, everyone's going to get one of these cards and placed in front of them that everyone will be able to see throughout the game. Everyone knows it's one of these 2. When I flip this over secretly and look at it, I know I have Uranus. So what this means is at the end of the game, I will flip this over and add it to my tableau for better or for worse. So a player might have screwed me over and made my Uranus pile even, which means it's going to be 0 points, but at the end of the game, I then flip this over and make it odd. Although the opposite could happen, I could be doing good, and then someone could add an odd one to me, and I have to screw myself at the end of the game by adding an even one. Now also, you could keep this secret for as long as, basically you'll do it for the whole game, but if this is my 9th planet, I can flip this over at the end of a turn and end the game in sort of a rush fashion. Highly recommend that secret advanced variant. Now, Oddworld is a cute little game. It's quick, it's easy. I like the aspect of having 2 piles. You pick which one you want, and you know which one of the 2 planets it's going to be and whether it's going to possibly help you or hurt you, maybe. I like how over the course of the game, you're sort of going and trying to specialize in certain planets to try to get your points up, but at the same time, one of your opponents can try to mess you over and make it even and have none. You can have 5 planets, someone puts a 6. Oh man, I had 5 points there, now I have none. It's an interesting, fun little game. I would always play with the advanced variant unless you're playing with little kids, which this game is probably a good game for parents and little kids to play because it's very simple. But that advanced variant giving you that secret information is just adds a lot to the game. I would never play without it. But overall, it's an enjoyable game. The decisions to make as to, hey, he's getting really high up there. He's got an odd amount. I'm going to try to get him even amount. Oh, good. I just messed you up. But he might have time to try to, undo that. But it's interesting. You're watching what other people are doing. You're trying to screw other people over, but also trying to help yourself. And And overall, it was a fine little game. Nothing that's going to blow your socks off, not going to win Game of the Year or anything, but it wasn't anything I disliked either. I enjoyed it. It's probably not one I'll pull out all the time, but I would say it's a good game for me. I'd say it's slightly above average. It had some interesting things there. It's quick, it's easy, the artwork's nice, the theme's fun and interesting, even though it's not really a theme, it's just planets. But overall, if you're looking for a light kids game that parents can play, it's great. For gamers, there's probably not enough depth here to keep them interested. But for a light family game, not a bad choice, and that is Oddworld. This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter, making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.